Hi and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave and this is episode 1179 AN. Today's date is January 16th, 2017, and the title of the episode is One Incredible Indicator Shows the Economy is Fast Approaching a Total Meltdown. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, we've been talking about retail throughout many of the reports, and what we're seeing is retail is slowly dying. And I'm not just talking about the brick and mortar. I'm talking about the entire retail industry, online and brick and mortar together. Now, a lot of people say, no, what's happening is people aren't shopping in the malls. They're going to online. Well, that isn't the case. What we're really seeing right now is a redistribution of retail sales. So those individuals that used to shop in department stores and go to the mall, they used to stop shopping in Walmart, they decided, you know what? I don't want to go to any of these areas. I don't want to drive around. Instead, I will take my shopping to online. Am I going to spend more money online? No. I'm going to look for the best deal online and try to spend less. This is what we've been seeing. Now, department stores, where they were once the king of retail, we are seeing that they are slowly dying. They are not doing well, and sales have been declining since 2001. And it wasn't entirely due to online shopping. There are many other factors at work here. And what we've been seeing is that sales in department stores, sales in the brick and mortar stores, well, they're all dying. And then we look at online sales. And what we're seeing here is that online sales, yes, they are receiving more sales, but people are just moving to a different location of where they're doing their retail purchases. It's not that they're shopping in brick and mortar and also shopping online and spending a lot more money. They're just saying, I'm going to spend less here and just move it over to retail and look for better deals. And I don't want to spend a lot more money. Those individuals who don't have jobs, well, guess what? They're not spending more at all. And when we look at general merchandise stores and online sales, we see that it has been declining. It has been declining since 2011. And it's getting worse and worse as time goes on. So when we look at this and we see the combined sales of bricks and clicks, we see there was an average of about 8.5% back in 2006. As of December 2016, it was less than half of that growth rate, 4.2%, with sales in December below that average. So consumers are not rushing to online to spend more money. What they're doing is they're moving away from brick and mortar and spending less online, and they're not shopping in brick and mortar as much. We're not seeing a huge surge of online sales where people are spending more. This is why when you combine the two, we see that sales in retail has been declining. When we look at real estate, we see that things are starting to deteriorate very, very quickly. There was a report that was released, the Elements fourth quarter 2016 report, and it looks like in New York and Manhattan, real estate sales, well, it looks like they're dropping. The prices are dropping. They're down by 8.7%. We see that sales are down, and we also see listing days, well, they're moving up. They're up 14%. And these individuals who are trying to get rid of their very expensive luxury apartments, luxury homes, well, they're discounting those real estate properties by 5.5%. And what that means is that this bubble is popping right now. And we're starting to see it. Actually, I'm seeing more and more homes on for sale, and they're staying on the market longer and longer. They're not moving. Now, Obama decided to do one more thing. Each time it seems like he's doing one more thing before he leaves office. Well, he's done one more thing in regards to food stamps. Now, we do have to remember, since 2008, when we were in the Great Recession, and this is 2017 now, food stamps back then was around 25 million people back in 2008. Now, we've been through this incredible recovery where everyone is doing better, everyone's doing well, unemployment is down to 4.7%. And what we're seeing here is that those individuals on food stamps shot up to 43.22 million. So, is this really a recovery? All we're seeing right now is more people on food stamps. Almost double. So what Obama decided to do, he decided that he will allow food stamp recipients to take their taxpayer-funded benefit and order online from retailers like Amazon under a new Obama administration initiative that aims to facilitate the shopping experience for rural and urban residents. To eliminate the welfare stigma, the Obama administration renamed the Food Stamp Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and he's making people feel more comfortable about being on food stamps. Now, if unemployment is so low, why are there still so many people on food stamps? It doesn't make sense, because back during 2007, 2008, the unemployment was what, 4.2%, then moved up to 4.6%. We're at the same place. So something is very wrong. It doesn't make sense. But this is about trying to cover up how many people are on food stamps by renaming it, by allowing them to shop online, because they know that these numbers, the unemployment, the GDP, retail sales, the numbers the government is putting out there, they're completely fake, phony, and false. And what is happening right now is they're trying to make people feel comfortable in receiving welfare. And with all of these programs that the government's been talking about for decades, we never go to the heart of the problem. If you notice, they keep talking about welfare, food stamps, health insurance, the problems in the economy. And if you realize what's happening here, none of these government officials ever go to the root of the problem. And what is the problem? It is the central bank. The central bank has been creating this currency out of thin air and charging the people of the United States interest on this money, which we have to pay back, which devalues the dollar as more and more of this currency is printed. And the central bank, which is a private corporation, has nothing to do with the federal government, they're in it for their own profits. They issue debt and they want profit. They issue debt to countries and they want their hard assets. They don't care about the people. They could care less about if the economy is growing, if it's doing well. Their agenda is to keep the economy working slightly, just enough so people really don't complain. And what's been happening to this point is that it's been getting worse and worse, and people are complaining right now. And there's all different types of problems with food stamps. What we need to do is we need to go to the heart of the problem. Why do we have almost double the amount of people on food stamps? Why is the dollar devalued? Why are we at war? Why does the government keep the central bank? Why can't they be audited? Why can't we audit the gold reserves? All of this is the root of the problem. But nobody wants to look at this. All they're doing is looking at the side effects of the problem and trying to help the side effects. It's almost like a disease. Yes, you can give cold medicine. Yes, you can, cover up if you're cold. But unless you go to the root of the problem, what's causing the disease, well, all you're doing is masking all the symptoms. And that's what they've been doing for years and years and years. Now, the question is the economy really back on track? Are we in this incredible recovery? Is retail and unemployment doing what they say? Well, we can find out by rail intermodal traffic. This is long-haul movement of shipping containers and truck trailers by rail. And when we look at this, what do we see? Well, we see that the shipments of all these different types of goods, like laptops, chickens, anything else you can think of, it shows us how these products are being moved around the country, which shows us, are people purchasing it? Are stores stocking up on it? And for the first time since 2009, yearly values are down versus the prior year. In percentage terms, the 2015-2016 decline is almost the same as the 2007-2008 decline when the financial crisis was raging, which tells us we are back where we started. Nothing has improved. Actually, it is getting worse, because here we are in this incredible recovery, and rail traffic, truck traffic is declining. This is an incredible indicator to show us how the economy is really doing, because if people were purchasing and stores were stocking up and things were great, truck traffic and rail traffic would be incredible. But we're not seeing it whatsoever, which shows us that this economy is completely melting down. It is a complete lie. It's an illusion right now. Trump is out there saying that the Brexit is a smart decision by the UK, saying that he would like to have trade deals with the UK, and he's saying that countries want their own identity. And the UK wanted its own identity, and this is why they had the Brexit. I mean, there were other reasons, but you could see what the central banks, the globalists, want. They want us to become all one and the same. But people don't want to be one and the same. We don't want to dress in the same gray outfit, stand in line, and all look the same. We want individuality. Countries want individuality. But the globalists, the central bankers, they don't want this. They don't care about that. We see inflation is hitting many different countries. We see it's hitting Venezuela. We see it's hitting Turkey now, where they're saying that things are going really bad. They're going to see double-digit inflation. We see in Mexico the price of tortillas, a staple in Mexico. Well, the price is rising right now. And what they're seeing right now is inflation. Tortillas, they have soared by 90% in Mexico. And what we're seeing is inflation is now starting to hit all these different countries. And all of this inflation, which we've been shipping out of the U.S., is all going to flood back to the United States, and we're going to see hyperinflation. Because as more and more countries decide, you know something, I'm not going to be using the reserve dollar anymore. I don't want to purchase oil using the dollar. They're going to use other currencies. No matter if it's paper form, electronic form, mostly it's electronic form when they're doing this. They're going to say, you know something, we don't need to keep these dollars in reserve, so we're going to purchase gold instead. We're going to sell our treasuries, and all of this is going to flood back to the United States, and we're going to see hyperinflation here. Because as this system comes down, we're at the end stage here. 1971 was the beginning stage of the petrodollar. Here we are in 2017. This is the end stage of the petrodollar. This is why we see so much debt. This is why we see so many things falling apart. This is why we're going to see hyperinflation. This is why they need to keep the interest rates so low. This is why we see salaries dropping. Look at the millennials. They're earning less than the baby boomers 25 years ago. This is the end stage. The system is crashing right now. It's coming down, and you need to get prepared for what is coming. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.